Hello and welcome to this digital story which was created by Jasmine, Megan, Morgan and Zara. While on a study visit to the Oxford Museum of Natural History, we were able to explore a wide range of specimens from a range of taxon. However, we were particularly fascinated by two specimens on display, which both belong to the family Spheniscidae, more commonly known as penguins. Within the family Spheniscidae, there are 18 species of aquatic birds, all of which are flightless. They mostly live in large colonies in the southern hemisphere, except for the Galapagos penguin, which can be found on the Galapagos Islands of Ecuador. The ancestral habitat of the family Spheniscidae is most likely New Zealand and Australia, and it is estimated that they moved into South America and the Antarctic about 20 million years ago. The oldest known fossil of an early penguin is of an extinct species called Waimanu manaringi, which lived in New Zealand 62 million years ago. They were flightless and adapted for deep diving as they possessed short wings. A range of giant penguin fossils have been discovered, with the largest being a specimen belonging to a species called Kumimanu fordyce, which is estimated to have weighed around 150 kilograms. This fossil dates back to 57 million years ago and suggests that penguins experienced size progression early on in their evolution. The extreme body sizes of these early penguins may imply that they occupied a niche that is not found in modern aquatic birds. This may have led to selection for more effective thermoregulation, as penguins are endotherms. Endotherms with a larger body mass can retain body heat more effectively, suggesting that giant penguins were able to dive and forage in colder waters than smaller modern penguins. However, giant penguins disappeared around 23 million years ago, and whilst it is not known why they vanished, one hypothesis is that competition for food, or breeding sites, or from direct predation from an invasive species may have caused a selection pressure for smaller body sizes.
The family Spinicidae belongs to the domain Eukarya, which advances into the kingdom Animalia, then the phylum Chordata, the class Aves, and lastly the order Spiniciformes. Within this order there is only one extant family, Spinicidae. This is split into 6 genera: Aptenodytes, Pygocelis, Eudiptula, Spiniscus, Megadiptes, and Eudiptes, which contain 18 species in total.
Birds. Penguins belong to the class Aves, meaning they possess all the derived characteristics that unite aves, such as a lack of a urinary bladder, no teeth, and wings with keratin-based feathers. One key behavioral adaptation that penguins possess is a varied diet. They feed on crustaceans, fish, and cephalopods, which they catch by diving underwater. This behavioral feature has led to a morphological adaptation, as it has observed that penguins have specialized jaw and tongue structures, depending on what they are best at catching. Another key morphological feature of the Sphenicidae family is their flipper, which is derived from an operational wing, as penguins most likely evolved from an ancestor with the ability to fly. The flipper has flatter wing bones than expected, as to increase how aerodynamic the flipper is when moved through the water. A third morphological adaptation that penguins possess are webbed feet, which are used to increase propulsion when swimming and diving for food.
Penguin diversity mainly comes from their body size and the shape of their bills. The diversity of their body size allows different species to live in very different climates. In general, larger penguins live in colder areas, whereas smaller penguins live in more temperate and tropical regions. The diversity in their bill shape allows them to occupy different niches, as they can forage for different food types. Diversity is also shown through different species displaying a range of distinct feather colour patterns, most notably shown by the genus Aptenodytes, which have vibrant yellow-orange patches on their head, neck, and chest.
While on our study visit to the Oxford Museum of Natural History, we were able to view two specimens from the family Spheniscidae. one being from the species that is called Euditula minor, which is commonly known as the little penguin. Little penguins live in Australia and New Zealand, and they are the smallest species of penguin. There are around 500,000 little penguins, however their numbers are declining. The little penguin is known by a few other names, including the blue penguin and the fairy penguin. Their diet includes small schooling fish, microzooplankton, and krill. The king penguin, Actinodites patagonicus, was another specimen we passed at the museum. These penguins, the second largest in the penguin order, have an average lifespan of 26 years and are ranked as of least concern on the IUCN Red List. Despite this, the impending effects of climate change, tourism, and vulnerability to disease have been highlighted as possible threats to their 4.4 million population. They live on subantarctic islands and are carnivores, mainly feasting on squid, krill, and lanternfish, which, according to National Geographic, can require these penguins to dive to depths as deep as the length of the Eiffel Tower. Interestingly, there have been debates on whether this species should be split into two, some scientists abiding by this and others not. In conclusion, the family Spheniscidae is a diverse taxon, which has a fascinating evolutionary history that features rapid size progression and subsequent size regression. In addition, penguins are highly adapted to their niches, including adaptations to their flippers and diet. Thank you for taking the time to watch our digital story about the family Spheniscidae.